Woo!
Yeah!
It's the Golden Reach Show. That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Idobi Radio. We're remote today. We are remote until the end of the year. How about that? The year's over.
Already? I mean, it hasn't been that long. Hasn't been that long.
It's been a full year since last year. It's make sure you go. Oh, we should put up holiday merch. Go get our merch. It's a little like no. What am I saying? I keep thinking it's much later in the year than it is. It's not late to get Christmas presents. I just like decided what I was getting everybody for Christmas, so I feel like Christmas is here already. And I'm also like ready for the year to be over, but still get our merch. We're gonna put holiday merch up. That's an idea.
Yes, the Cool Nerd Weed Show merch makes a great gift to all your friends and family. Let them know, let the world know that you support the nerds and you support cannabis.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know. And it's pretty good merch. I was wearing the hat today because it's not really that cold on the East Coast, but I'm still wearing it.
Oh yeah, you got a beanie, a toque.
Yeah, I got a cute beanie, like a tie-dye one. I'll go get it.
I forgot about those. We did tie-dyed, embroidered beanies.
They're really good. Yeah, they're really, really cute and they're good quality. So yeah, go to coolnerdweedshow.bigcartel.com and get merch for your sweetie. And also go to YouTube and watch us on YouTube. You can just search us, Cool Nerd Weed Show. I just wanted to say those things before I forgot. You know, I got East Coast weed. I hit up the dispensary early in the AM to Apothecarium here in New Jersey. Pretty reliable. I mean, it's expensive in New Jersey for like no reason at all. It's really
What'd you
expensive.
get?
You said you've been hearing East Coasters come to the dispensary saying all the things that I'm saying, which is so funny. I got what the hell did I? Oh fuck! I forgot it downstairs. What did I get? Fuck, what was it called? It was cookies. It was something I'd never heard of, but it was a cookies quad.
A new strain, a newer strain.
It was like, yeah, it was like concrete something. I don't know. It was like something I had never heard of, and it was called like it was listed as C note, not cookies.
Okay.
Do you know what that is? Is that like
C
a
note,
different?
like $100 bill?
Which, speaking of which, we're not really talking about this, but like big news: Cookies Melrose.
It's shutting
I don't know
down.
if this translates across the country. I reckon that it does. Everybody knows Cookies Melrose. That was like kind of the flagship of the interstate brand cookies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We love that shop.
It
We
was a
went there quite a
very,
bit.
it was a beautiful shop.
Yeah, it was well
It
done.
had that whole corner.
It was
I don't
hypey,
think
but like, you know,
I don't think the neighborhood really appreciated
they were so
cookies.
mad. Yeah, they hated.
The neighborhood was very mad. They
It was a
complained
ruckus.
frequently. But what the
It's also
fuck, man?
Melrose. Like you're in, you know, whatever. All I know is long live Cookies Melrose. We had some great nerdy times walking those streets, like from your old spot to fucking all the way down to Melrose. God, no wonder we were so skinny back then. We walked a lot.
We did. That's like a 3 to 4 mile round trip.
I wonder when it closes. We should try to make it. I wonder if it closes this year or like it'll be open by January. We should make a final trek.
We
from, like,
should.
our
We should.
houses.
They're probably having a blowout sale as well.
Ooh, yeah, facts. That's a good point. But yeah, so cookies, it's cookies something. I forgot the strain. I will get it on the break. I, forgot we were doing a radio show today, but I promise I will do all of the things. It's pretty good. It's high in terps. It's like 25% THC. It's got like 2.19% terps, which is cool. But for a quad, it was like 125.
That's crazy.
Or tax, I think.
After with all of the taxes.
No.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's a lot. And there's the vapes are up there too. But you know what? It's cool. It's fine. It's cool. I don't mind. I'm just happy to be able to get it. It's just
Well, yeah, access is important, and sometimes we're gonna have to pay a little bit more.
I could
So
probably buy weed in other ways, but you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm going the legal route because that's what we fought for. So
it
I
is.
will pay my taxes and spend my hard-earned dollars going to the weed shop. And you know what? It'll come down. Prices will come down all around the United States of America.
It's true. The market will settle. There'll be um, more product. There'll be more competition,
Yeah,
and
it'll be cool. We're cool.
the prices will lower eventually. Well, I am smoking
Oh yeah, I didn't even ask you. Sorry.
the
Oh well, thank
no-till
you. What is it? Tell me. Oh, what is it?
the no-till kings,
Oh.
and it's I got Durban poison.
Oh
This is
man.
like certified organic by
Wow.
yeah, certified
Durban
organic.
poison. Is it terpy?
It's so terpy. They've got the terp profile on the back here,
Delicious. I love that
and
they do. That is one big part of regulation. It's one of my favorite parts is the terp breakdown on all the packaging.
yeah, the
It's a
more
dream.
reputable brands are actually putting their terp profile on here and the packaging, and this one's testing at 3.6, which is pretty fucking high for a
Wow.
flower.
That's extremely high.
And it's quite delicious, very smooth, very natural, very organically grown, and it is delicious. It's a smooth smoke, and I love a sativa and the
Well,
Durban
I'm like back and forth on sativa. I don't know if I would say that I love it. Okay, hold on. We'll talk about sativas for a second. I don't love all sativas, but I do love Durban poison. That's the probably like the one of the only of like the 4 or 5 sativas that I
of
like,
the
maybe 3 or
main
4.
sativas.
Yeah. Durban's the best one. Like, if you think differently, you're wrong.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the weed that I am smoking is Seabite Undertow. Undertow is the name of the weed.
Undertow.
Undertow. I'm gonna look it up. It is an indica dominant hybrid strain made from a genetic cross between Gushers and Wet Betty.
Huh. Huh. Okay.
Wet
Okay.
Betty.
We love the gushers. What was the wet Betty?
Uh, Betty strain.
What Betty?
What? It is just a strain of weed. It's indica. Oh, it's cookies and cream and Gorilla Glue. I don't know. I mean, this is what the internet says, but it's cookies and cream and Gorilla Glue. That's Wet Betty. And Wet Betty crossed with Gushers, which yeah, I am picky with my Gushers though, to be honest. I don't love all Gushers. I feel like they're not all created the same. But this is
For
good.
sure.
This is a quality gusher, and whatever that Wet Betty shit is, and that's not like it's a good, definitely a good cross. So I'm satisfied. I wish though that I had that Durban poison. I've been thinking about it since you told me about it. Just
This
thinking
one,
about
I
it.
was really excited when the No-Till Kings came through. Like,
You like them?
well, I'd never had them before, but like the whole idea of
Oh,
like
but you
living
like know
soil,
about them? Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
about them. This is my first time actually trying the No-Till Kings, and I'm impressed. I mean,
Good for them.
okay,
I hope they stick around.
I hope so too. Um,
Just when we think
and
we
to
like something, the company goes away.
I know, it's a bummer. I hope they stick around, and I hope people will actually appreciate the No-Till Kings because let me just say, it's like you're shopping at Whole Foods when you're buying No-Till Kings. You're going to pay a little bit more for anything that's this
Oh,
organic, living soil, and this well done.
so it was expensive.
Yeah, I'm going to say it was
Was it, like,
more
hypey expensive?
hyphy expensive.
Okay. Well, I'll pay high fee price
Yeah,
for
yeah, I'd
weed.
pay high fee
I
prices.
pay
I
high
mean,
fee
this is
price for
fucking
herb
high
and
fee.
poison. Yeah.
Yeah, for like also they're doing like really like classic strains too. Like there was a train wreck, there's a white widow.
Ooh, we like
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, yeah. The throwbacks.
I love that. Well, I remember remember classics like those guys like they
Oh
did
yeah.
that whole run and they actually did a good job I thought of like
They did.
growing some traditional strains. So, we're doing pretty good on the variety and the availability of weed. My bud tender said, "Enjoy your marijuana today." I was like, "You know what, sir? I will." It was very nice. Their ATM machine or their debit card machine wasn't working, but I didn't complain.
It's going around. It's definitely
I
going
know, I
around.
thought of you. I was like, "Oh, no." Banking Act, ah.
Go through
Oh,
already the banking act.
yeah, we have a lot to navigate in the world of weed, and we're gonna start today after 15 minutes of talking about well, that was important. We had to talk about that. That was really important that we caught up on our respective coasts of weed smoking. But now we're gonna talk about this article that's going around. I would like to address it because I feel like because we have addressed things like this before, and usually we're kind of like not necessarily like dismissive of it because I really always want to be clear. I'm never dismissive of a medical thing, even if it comes from like a shitty source. I'm always like, well, you never know. Different things affect people differently. And who am I? We are not doctors. We say that all the time, but we are usually like, well, let's see what, because we see in our just observational life of working in weed, we see a lot of benefits to consuming weed, and we always have. We've seen the opposite of what all the reports are. However, like we don't have, extensive resources to study all that, so we haven't. Um and there are people who have. So they've been doing all sorts of studies. And the most recent one, there's a few, but the most recent one is that weed use. This is the headline: marijuana use raises risk of heart attack, heart failure, and stroke. Studies say, which is terrifying to read. Like, let's say you're just getting into weed and you're like, yeah, this really relaxes me. And my family history of stroke is not even in my mind. And then you
But then
like
you
read that
you
headline.
Google
Yeah,
you Google
dispensaries
marijuana,
near me.
and the
Yeah.
first thing that pops up is this CNN article.
Is this terrifying CNN article that's right, that comes from, real sources, the AHA, whatever. Places that I don't think are going into it with like some sort of marijuana or like weed bias, like some sort of like anti-weed tear. I don't think that was the point of these studies. So that's usually where I'm always like, I get defensive because it's always like, well, I feel like you skewed this a little bit against weed. This does seem like it, they took people who weren't currently smoking now. I'm not sure if they know if they were smoking before, because of how much inhaling tobacco increases your risk of heart failure and heart disease and whatnot. That um, uh, weed would naturally do that too because it's combustible. So that was kind of where they were going with the whole thought process. So they removed smoking from all current or all the people, and they just studied the effect of weed and found that the risk of stroke and heart disease were higher. So yes, if that's what they're they're saying, like, I don't wanna be like, "Well, that's bullshit." Like, it seems legit. Um, the article kind of goes on to, like, talk about weed addiction and, um, like, old people using weed which like Sanjay Gupta just did a whole thing about how like great that was, but like this article is like, yeah, but people have chronic conditions and they use weed and it makes it worse, and like so they're basically targeting like older people and being like, if you smoke more weed, you're definitely gonna have high blood pressure. But the people in this study also had already been diagnosed with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and high cholesterol. So now my mom has high blood pressure. So if she was participating in this study, it, to me, like, I mean, and by the way, weed has helped people like my mom with high blood pressure that we've seen. But if there are a mix of things going on, including diet and exercise level, or just kind of like lifestyle level, those things all play a big factor in your heart health. Don't think they looked at that stuff. I'm not quite, it doesn't say here if they did.
Yeah,
Um,
did these people exercise daily?
yeah.
What they and also they all had previous like pre-existing conditions. Will that
Yeah.
skew that'll skew the results? I'm
Yeah. I
thinking.
mean, I guess like they just wanted to see if like people who already were, you know, compromised in that way, if like weed would exacerbate it, which like a lot of things don't help. And there was a long time view that like, and we would hear this around like that people who smoked a lot would like, and this is stupid, but like you get the munchies, and that there's a scientific reason for that, but you do want to fucking eat. Now, not everybody's eating like carrots and you know, hummus. Like you want to eat stuff that's probably not great for your heart. When you're stressed out, I mean, like I
Stress
eat
eating is
salty
real.
shit. My mom got diagnosed with high blood pressure when she was stressed about COVID. She had like Chinese food and like some fucking
Like every
like
night.
drank a martini. Like she was like on one and like went to the doctor the next day and he was like, "Whoa, you are you okay?" But like that's big factor in, and I'm not saying that they didn't look at this, but it doesn't say in this article that they did. So we just wanted to like kind of suss it out, like, talk it out, because we do have to come to terms with the fact that like because weed is around more, it's more like accepted that there are still people who don't like it, but there are also, I think, people not people there's also, yes, weed is very different right now. It is being regulated, most of it. Regardless, it's stronger. We're figuring out how to boost the things
Oh
that make us
yeah.
feel good. It's cleaner, it's pure. Every mother and father and auntie will tell you the weed today is not like it was in the hippie days.
Well,
We were freaking out
they
on
had
square.
they had flour, traditional flour, and like the concentrate was like traditional hash.
Hash, yeah.
Maybe oil if somebody was like really scientifically prone
But they
to
only smoke that
actually.
like once and like they're,
But
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like that was
Like,
very hard to. It was very
yeah.
hard to come by. More often, it was flour or hash,
Mhm.
and the potency wasn't there. It wasn't quite there.
Mm-mm.
I think some of these they might exaggerate how low the potency was, or we just don't know because we didn't have samples
Right,
of all of the cannabis back then enough. We did have samples that they were so old that testing them was probably like really inaccurate.
right, right, right,
But
right.
regardless, we are extracting cannabis in new ways every single day. There's like THCA crystals that are extremely
Mhm,
potent THC, and they're like in every single vape now. Uh, there's there's the live resin,
mhm,
there's the rosins, and
mhm.
also the just breeding cannabis to have like the highest THC content possible has just been going on forever, and we're seeing like the results of that now with like the most potent cannabis on the planet. Like every week I'm blown away by how high some some of these flowers are actually testing.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, we were. like when we were like testing stuff, like when we got something back that was like 30 or like 28 or something, we were like, damn, like that was
Oh
like
yeah. Oh yeah.
really high. So, like
Now
if
now
you
people come
are,
in and they're like scoffing at like a 28 or 25% THC,
and
which is still
like I
respectable.
always, and we talk about this and you'll see it all over cannabis social media, but there's more to weed than THC percentage, and we're learning that now. And I'm the number one culprit of going for the highest THC, but it all like we're learning that it's so much more, and that's important to note because we did so often chase the highest things. So like you said, like the distillate, the big dabbing craze of the late 10s, 2010s. Like, I feel like it was just, you're dabbing 6 times a day. You're like smoking out of a dab pen. And I did this as well. You're eating mad edibles. You're smoking. I was thinking, I was like, damn, I was smoking like a whole joint on each break. Like we, and I like still typically smoke a good amount of weed. Um, so much so that like I got sent this article by multiple people and they were like, be careful. Like it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just stop smoking weed then. You're right. Like I do think we do need to know. I personally like right now don't think, I mean, I just got a bunch of health stuff done. Like my heart is like very healthy. So, and I'm not, I'm a medium-sized eater, I eat okay and I exercise a good amount. So, I do try to take care of my heart, and I think that might help. I think I wouldn't be a part of this study even though I am a typical weed user of the 21st century, as are you. And I think like, but who knows? Like again, we're not doctors. So all we're saying is like yes, these news stories are very important to look at. Go do your diligence. If you feel comfortable talking to your doctor about it, like be our guest, but don't expect your doctor to be like, yeah, totally, smoke that weed. It's fine for you. So like ask, like we'll give you as much information as we've possibly seen. Again, like we're not doctors. We just don't want to because again, we are also doing, and I think the bottom line of this article and most of these stories for us and for them is we just need to know more. Now that weed is being actually used and it's not fringe, maybe it isn't great to be smoking 99.9999% THC every time you smoke, or maybe you have the kind of heart that doesn't love fucking hacking your brains out and spasming so much that your blood pressure drops when you, and that's happened to me. My blood pressure spiked when I've taken too much weed to the dome. So like sure, that's something that you should pay attention to. And just because we love weed, we don't want to like not be advocates for good health. We also don't want you to be scared of a crazy headline. It's like, "You're gonna have a stroke, you old man." Like, it's not it's okay if you're just starting to smoke weed. Don't stress out because that will also give you heart problems.
The nerds taking you beyond the headlines.
Yeah. That's
And
that's the time to
okay,
use it.
let's just say that you know, with anything there's going to be some sort of a population that experiences ill effects to any substance on the planet. There's going to be some people that are, cannabis doesn't react well with. Just like every other substance, whether it's medicine or you know some just your recreational medicines are going to
Supplements.
have some sort of
Anything
side effects
anything
for most.
has a side effect. Yeah, literally any substance, anything that you put inside of your body that needs to be put through the fucking crazy intricate computer that is our body is going to have some sort of side effect. And some of it is good and some of it we don't know about and some of it is just bad. Cannabis use disorder is something that like a few years ago we would say that's satanic panic, that's reefer madness. Move on now, and we'll smell you later. But now it's like I think about it and I'm like, well, sure, if we're all smoking this high potency weed that's so beautifully grown and clean and just delicious, and we're all, smoking it so much, well, just like coffee and like literally anything.
Yeah, those,
And I mean that. Like you can build
with
up a tolerance and an addiction to anything. And
more access and accessibility, these
mm,
problems and conditions are going to arise. But I truly believe that the benefits of cannabis for everybody
okay, I'm
outweigh
still on that train.
any of this negativity and negative and potential side
I agree.
effects.
I agree. I think what has to start happening quickly is okay, so if this is a fact, let's figure out how to fix it. Like let's figure like just like CHS, you know what I mean? We haven't gotten there yet, but it's such a new like well maybe it's not. I mean, I feel like it is new though. It's a pretty new phenomenon. So there's ground level research going on now to try and figure out how people who would really like to consume weed for their mental health, for their physical health, for whatever reason, because it's accessible. I think the more research that is done, the more tests we do, the more ways we can find to consume weed in a healthy way is like the outcome that we should hope for. Not just like stop smoking or your heart will fucking die. Like and like especially to like the older population because we know this very personally that the older population they deserve to enjoy their weed and it really really helps. And they've done it, man. They've beat the system and they should be comfortable consuming weed and not worry they're going to have a heart attack or their diabetes is going to like give them heart failure. So just although it's Dr. TS and Dr. Sasha, co-practice doctors, you can only see both of us at the same time. We're a doctor duo. We're not doctors, and we never would claim to be. We're just weed doctors,
We're
and
just
we
nerds.
know we're just weed nerds, and we want to kind of calm the alarm, and especially know that like watch I'll like have a heart attack tomorrow, God forbid. But like we want you to know that we're okay too. So you can stop sending us the article. Thank you though. I appreciate
we're
the concern.
we're fine.
We're cool.
Cannabis would have killed us a long time ago if it was going to kill us.
Yeah. And again, like don't take this with whatever amounts of grains of salt that you feel comfortable with. If you do feel like when you smoke, your blood pressure is fucked, please stop smoking and go to a doctor. Figure out
Absolutely.
you can absolutely tailor your consumption, hopefully, unless you have something debilitating like CHS, which has not been people who have CHS have not been able to go back to weed, but they're working tireless. That's how great weed is. It can make you scrum it, but people who have CHS want to smoke weed again. They do. They don't want to. A lot of the times, they don't want to like. Not all of them. I'm sorry. I don't want to speak for all CHS people. I've just seen a lot of social media. Some people don't even want to look at it again. But I have seen people who miss it. They miss it, and they miss the benefits of it. And I think that speaks to the power of it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if I was speaking for all of CHS people, but like you know what I'm saying. Like that speaks to the power of it. It could debilitate you and you're just like, I need to figure out a way to like consume this in a healthy way. And that's what I think we should be doing is figuring it out. Like if this is a thing, stroke is a problem, okay. Like more research needs to be done. Let's like have it so that the population isn't consuming so much weed that they're fucking having strokes when they were prone to strokes before. Let's have doctors understand weed. That's all I'm asking, I think.
Yeah, some real studies, some real research.
And this seems like it's on its way. I would like not to be so sensational. I guess that's also what I'm asking. I'm asking for a lot, and I realize that's unfair, but you know, like it doesn't have to be so scary. Because I do feel like it's a scary headline, and
It
I
is.
don't
It's
care for
like
it.
a little bit of science, a little bit of fucking P.T. Barnum, Rupert Murdoch fucking bullshit,
Yeah,
and then we clicked on it. We
we
bit,
did.
we
Well, the
bit.
reason why I wanted to talk about it and I really pushed for it is because we have. Sorry, I had water and it went down the wrong hole. I'm not smoking. It went down the wrong pipe, wrong hole. Uh,
Interesting.
pipe. No, the reason why I really pushed to talk about it is because, like, yeah, we have mentioned something like this before, and whenever there's something like this, we do talk about it. And we're like, yeah, yeah, Razafreza. But like, I do feel like this was in a lot of places, and CNN comes high up on the Google search, so it has to be like addressed, not to the point where it's like sound the alarm, but I do think because if we don't talk about it like it's something that to think about, then when something does happen, like another study comes out that's like kind of, not great about weed, all the people are going to be like, well, see, they've dismissed everything else. They're not even going to take this seriously. Let's ban weed or something. I don't know. I just feel like we should be learning and open minded and not scared of weed. Don't be afraid.
Don't be scared. Be aware.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show with TS and Sasha. Don't panic. It's organic.
It is the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
We're live on Idobi Radio, and this actually is like technically a United States of cannabis. So
We salute you, the United States of cannabis, under all 50 strains, one pre-roll under bong.
The Cool Nerd Weed Show on Idobi Radio.
yeah, one nation under bong. That is exciting news for Ohio. Is what we're almost right. Exciting.
Yeah,
news.
we're on the eve of the general election in Ohio, and Ohio has is voting on question or issue number 2, the legalization of cannabis, or the marijuana legalization initiative, as they're calling it, issue 2 in Ohio. And according to polls, almost 60% of Ohioans want cannabis to be legal in their state. I mean, why not?
Only 50%. Is that what you said?
60,
Oh, 60,
almost
okay.
60%. I think it was 57 on the last poll, which is, if all of those people vote, cannabis will be legal in Ohio.
Yes, and it would be, it has all of your classics. This is things to look for when you're voting. Well, you can have 2.5 ounces cannabis, which is more than here in California.
Yeah, that's for your recreational. 15 grams of concentrate.
That's pretty cool. You can grow at home, which is
That's
pretty
huge.
cool. That's the biggest thing that we look for, of course.
12 plants. 12 plants is a good amount of plants for home cultivation.
Yeah, for sure. It is. It really is.
12 per household.
Yeah, per household.
So
So,
6 per
yeah, they
person.
look like they're doing. Yeah, they're making sure medical patients are taken care of. Do you see stuff about equity? Yes, equity. Actually, no. There's not. This is a downside. I guess there's not specific language on automatic expungements, which is bummer.
I mean,
And
those should have been written into the bill in
well, that's
issue
kind of
number 2, but can you add them in later? Can you do the right thing? Hopefully.
I don't know.
And
Yikes.
maybe this is not the
Again,
time just yet
we
for Ohio.
urge you to vote with your whole heart and with the most knowledge that you have. We voted no for well, I did. You did too, right?
Same.
Yeah. For Prop 64 because it sucked butts and it has continued to suck butts. We've gotten ahead. We've gotten like at kind of ahead of it, like above water in California, but it was a butt sucker, and like we knew it was going to be, and we said no. So if that's not in the language of your bill and that's important to you, which it's very important to us that expungement and social equity be enforced, because it's weird to like smoke weed recreationally when people are in jail for it, a few feet away. I don't like
Yeah,
doing that. It makes me uncomfortable.
absolutely. When there's CEOs of companies making hundreds of thousands of dollars a fucking year, and there's
Yeah.
somebody sitting in a fucking cell
Yeah, who
doing
can't vote now even,
who
like, so,
can
like, has
exactly.
all of his rights stripped away from him,
It's,
and we're just profiting off of that. So,
it's
well,
not
I
right.
changed my mind. I didn't know. I thought I saw that there was, like, an expungement thing, but I must have read it incorrectly because that uh, it was almost there. And maybe it'll get voted in. Just please, when you're voting, think of these things. We do urge you to think of these things. But access is very important, and the fact that it's even on there is pretty cool for Ohio.
Well, with the aspect of social equity, there is a provision that would study and fund potential criminal justice reform, which is like, still, in my opinion, dragging your fucking feet on the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I
Like,
feel
you're
like
going to
we've
study it
seen
now after you are
that.
legalizing
Yeah,
cannabis?
you know what? You don't need to study anything.
Just
Like
release the fucking prisoners.
you know what's happening. Like it's there. They're in there disproportionately to any other thing. So we'll just expunge it. It's a very easy process. We've seen other states do it. Chicago, great example. Illinois, rather great example. Like look at them. They've done great. California really dragged its feet. I mean, it took forever to really get that trickling. A lot of states aren't, even when they have the language in their things, there's still B&Ds about it. So yeah, that does concern me. It worries me a little bit. I feel as if it's not fully baked yet. But then again, when will it be? Like there's always going to be some dumb shit. I feel like that's like in the proposition or the, legislation that is not like helpful for the industry, which sucks because we love legal weed. It's like our thing.
And so do 59% of Ohioans, and 39% oppose right now. So it
That's
has a
like
good
a lot
chance
of
of
people, though.
passing.
I mean, 39 people, 39% is, I feel like, more against it than, I guess, for like Ohio, which,
For Ohio, that's pretty fucking
yeah,
progressive,
it is. It is.
I
It
would
is. It
think.
is.
The world is ready. The United States is ready for legal cannabis. Even the most conservative,
Yeah.
most conservative states, you're going to probably find shifting opinions in favor of cannabis.
I think overall, I think there's some people who are stuck in their ways, or some people who just think. I mean, I still think there's like a big stigma, but like I
For sure,
also
for sure.
like again, like I know 39% is like progressive for Ohio, but that's a lot of people who don't like weed. Like for why? You know what I mean? Like it's 2023. It's very clear that weed is here to stay, and that is going to be in a legal way and going to be studied for health reasons, for money reasons, for reasons. So what don't you like? Like so I do find it to be Like, and not only that, like, so there's that many people who don't like it, and there's no expungement stuff. So I feel like Ohio might just need a couple more minutes. But if not, that's cool too. Then I'll be very excited for them. Just a little bit sad, but excited. As I am when most of these get passed. As I will be when it gets fucking whatever declassified and they put it on some other dumb, category with like codeine or something. And, like, yeah, that'll
That's a
be
whole
something
nother
I'm gonna
federal mess.
So, you know what I mean? I think with regulation comes with some sort of social issue that I feel, or issue that I feel like that's why we do the show. So look at all the things and vote with knowledge. But no matter what you do, what you decide to do when you're in the little booth, your little private oasis away from the world, fucking do it. Go vote. Go vote now. Go vote tomorrow. If there's an election in your area, go vote. It's election day tomorrow.
Ohio allows mail-in votes as well, and there's some early. A lot of people voted already,
Well, good.
and I'll have the results for you next week.
So exciting. It's exciting. It is. It's progressive for it to even be a conversation that you're going to vote on. I do hope that you get safe access to weed in Ohio. That would be pretty great. It's great. It's great when you're driving around the country and you go to states that you don't. It's so funny when you cross over from like Texas to Tennessee. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I think it's Texas.
From like Oklahoma to Tennessee.
Yeah, Oklahoma to Tennessee. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
onwards, you see the billboards that are like, "Did you get busted with weed? Call this lawyer." It's like it really is. It's a full stop in a lot of the states in the country, and it's nice to see a surprising state here and there that's like really, really looking positive and good. Couple things, but that's heartening news, but don't get busted with weed. So we're not there yet. And that's the thing. Like, as long as like we live, we'll be doing the show and talking about all the things that we feel like need to be straightened out in our, little nerdy voices. Because I think for as long as we're alive, weed is gonna, in our lifetime, I don't know. Like, what do you think is gonna happen in like 50? Okay, like, no, we'll still be like 30 years.
30
You'll still be
years.
alive. I will still be alive, and we will be podcast
Well, I thought it would.
enterprise entrepreneurs. And Idobi Radio will be like what the president broadcasts on or something. I don't know. It'd be good. It's gonna be very important. And
There'll be an
weed
Idobi step
on the
and repeat
moon.
on Air Force One.
Yeah. And then on Mars, like where everybody's
And
gonna go live. And
the state of cannabis in
Yeah.
50 years, we're going to have all 50 states with complete legalization and federal descheduling.
Gonna be all corporate, or is it gonna be like
Oh, it's
beer?
going to be all fucking corporate. It'll be the Taco Bell
Just
wars, just like the Running Man, or it wasn't the Running Man, but
I think I know what you mean. Yeah, I guess so. It's slow moving, but it's happening, and I hope that it is that. I hope that it's just in terms of like operational. I
in
just hope it's
50 years,
easier.
it's going to be mom's friendly cannabis company.
Yeah, it sure is. They're just gonna be. It's funny. Like my niece is like gonna be 1 in December, and like we were just talking about how it's like crazy how she's growing up in a world where weed isn't villainized right now. And who knows?
Oh
Maybe in
yeah.
50 years
Oh
it'll
yeah.
be, like the Hunger Games and everything will be bad. But
I
like,
mean,
it's crazy to think she won't have a dare program that like involves
yeah.
weed.
There's also like there's the generation that will never know about going to Pink's and getting your picking up your eighth, while there's some CHP officers getting their lunch there at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll never know that like butt clenching
You'll
feeling.
never know to have that adrenaline rush.
Yeah. Well, the adrenaline rush was quite different in California than it was here in New Jersey and New York. That's for sure. Like,
That's a
but
good thing, though.
yeah, yeah.
It's much more civilized now.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of it. I think safe access is what we're going for. Oh my God, we talked so much. We have to take a commercial, and we have to come back and talk about the other thing we want to talk about.
The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
It's the final Huff and Puff, TS and Sasha. We wanted this to be longer, but it's okay. It's okay. I think it's okay. So Weed Maps had a funny thing on their website. Then we like Weed Maps for the most part, and it's just like we always talk about. Well, we work really hard to not be like stereotypical. Well, I don't know if we work hard, but you know what I mean. I feel like you and I are stereotypical stoners in almost every way, but I feel like we're also not. You know what I mean? Like I always talk about how punctual we are. Like we're pretty
It's
like
true.
on
It's
top
true.
of our shit. Like we hold down like literal jobs. Like full time and also manage. Like I was saying to my sister, I was like, never say that like moms can't smoke weed because like I'm on top of like that baby. Like, so like it's the stereotypes are there for a reason, but these are cringy stereotypes of
The
stoners.
6 cringiest stoners you will ever meet. And to be honest, I kind of identify with a
I
couple of
feel like
them.
we're all of them.
Oh, yeah, at least all. I was trying to be nice to us, but yeah, we identify with all 6
So the first one,
on some level.
yes, the first one is weed is my whole identity, kid. Like clearly it's ours. I mean,
Work in
it
the
is
industry, do a
like
show, smoke all the time.
we smoke a lot of weed and we work in it. We talk about it for quite quite at length. So we they're like the quote is like time for smoke weed, by the way, not cigarettes. Like yeah, I was the person who always had weed. Like people have still obviously like there's people on my phone who like were only on my phone because we smoked outside and they were like, oh, you're the girl who always has weed. And that's okay.
I would always clarify when I was going to smoke that I wasn't smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, there's a difference.
Totally.
Then there's the guy who never gets high. Also, I feel like
That guy comes into the
unfortunately, that's
shop almost every day.
us. Yeah,
Almost every day.
I can still get high,
Yeah, same.
as
Same. I'm still enjoying this.
Bradley said from Sublime. Yeah, I can definitely. I feel like. I definitely like it takes a lot, like less than probably your average person for me because I smoke. I don't know if anybody's realized this, but I do consume a high volume of weed. So yeah, do I have to take more edibles than most? Sure. And this does say like if you said that about drinking that you could drink a lot and not get drunk, people would call you an alcoholic, and that is correct.
It's true.
So,
They have a word for that. It's alcoholism.
there is an ism. So touche. The next is sativa guy. Yeah, we know that guy for sure.
We do. We do.
We know that guy.
The sativa diva.
Yeah, you get them a lot, I bet.
I mean, LA's a sativa town full of
Yeah, we
sativa
get that a lot.
divas. Like we got shit to do in this town. Like we want to be high and happy doing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So there's
yeah.
no shame in it. No shame in
No.
being a sativa guy. You go ahead and enjoy. If you get some Durban poison, you're in fucking,
Shit.
paradise.
Ooh.
The self-objectifying influencer. Oh, like a dab bunny.
A dab kitten.
I always say bunny.
I mean, it's the same.
I
I like
mean,
dab kitten.
I know, and I do too. But for some reason, I say bunny. There's got to be a reason.
Dab bunny.
But whatever animal you are, you know what? Fuck off. The dab kittens are great. No, I don't agree with this one. Weed Maps, you're wrong for this. Self-objectifying influencers, all we got. That's no. No.
Big fan. Big fan.
Big fan. And you know what? Like, do the damn thing. And also, like, make weed sexy, like, because it fucking is. So
It is.
disagree being a weed influencer, a sexy weed influencer, self-objectifying. You eat some butts. You go eat butts. Whoever wrote this one. The know-it-all grower. You're kind of a know-it-all grower, TS.
Yeah, but I'm not annoying. I mean, I don't know.
No
It's
way.
like
You're not
I'm
annoying. You're
not
like the coolest professorial ever. You know it all, but like not in a cringy way at all. And most, and I mean, okay, we know the know-it-all grower.
for sure.
We do.
For sure.
We talk
They come
sometimes
in.
talk shit about him on this show.
They come in
We-
daily as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, we're tough on the know-it-all grower, but only because you have the capability of being like a cool know-it-all grower, and we know that that's possible because of you. Yes. Average Redditor Stoner Edition.
Well, this
Like a
saying
well
that-
actually guy.
you know, those keyboard warriors that really know everything but
Yeah.
haven't really done shit.
Yeah, they like leave reviews on Weed Maps. Probably somebody from Weed Maps wrote this because they were like, stop writing reviews, like 1-star reviews on Weed Map for like that bad Skittles that you got or whatever.
I don't
Yeah,
normally
no, we know that
complain.
guy. Yeah, that guy. That is accurate. And you know what? Don't worry about being a cringy stoner. If you are any of those things, fly that flag up high, because we identify with a few of them. And even if you are annoying, we're high, so we don't really care, you know? And don't stop being sexy. I want to see all of it. You love that. Not you. Well, you love that. But,
Well, I do.
but you love yourself,
Kittens.
and you love that. We love all the dab animals. And that's our show. So follow us everywhere, Cool Nerd Weed Show. You find us on YouTube. The video will be up. And get our merch, coolnerdweedshow.bigcartel.com. And
Don't panic.
it's organic.